welcome back to another episode of Nothing Moves Without Us, Black Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Clifford Genesee. The date is February 10th. The date is February 11th. My laptop says February 10th. Oh, man. I thought I lost. I'm out of it, man. I'm out of it. All right, today I'm talking about Super Bowl, black commercials, black music, black referees, black quarterbacks, black halftime show, Black History Month. Right? Talking about Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. Talking about what hip hop culture was defined as and what it feels it's still stuck in after 50 years. And I might jump into this MJ the GOAT, man. It takes a lot for me not to fuck with you. Oh, man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. In these past 3 days, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, or AKA whoever he is now, right? A nobody. He's just been back on X, formerly known as Twitter, just jibber-jabbing. To the point where I was like, you know what? I got to unfollow him, right? This dude is bad energy. His whole energy is just mad bitter after all these years. No one want to hear that shit, man. So I unfollowed him. And I went back on X earlier this morning and saw that his Yeezy.com shop got shut down by Spotify. Grow up, Mr. West, right? Forget waking up. Everyone's woke. Everyone's awake. Babies wake up. At some point, you have to grow up. And growing up is just being aware of where we are as a culture and society and moving past childish, irrelevant behavior, man. On the season finale, what would have been the third season finale of Nothing Moves Without Us, a Black Culture Podcast, Tatiana and I went over College Dropout. And the day the episode was supposed to drop, she sent me a text about him being on Alex Jones. I was, it was like, nah, I don't want to give him any limelight. And I was like, yo, I got you. So never published the episode. And I watched him on Alex Jones, and I'm watching someone who has someone who's not well. He's not well, right? He had the orange, he had like the gimp outfit, big puffy jacket, his face zipped up. And he had the orange fishnet. I screenshot images because I was trying to remember how left this person went, man. And I don't want to give him too much airtime right now, but the scene, we could forgive you, man. And some people, we're very much in a zero tolerance society where the second you do something that a certain group of people doesn't enjoy, man, they're going to come at your neck. We call that cancel culture, right? And if they have enough people, they can galvanize enough people to support, to tweet, to make stories, to bring relevance to your name and just how you're foul as a person, you get canceled. But cancel culture is also I forgot culture. It's also a dissipated energy culture. There's also I got bills to pay culture. It's also I'm on to the next person. I'm on to the next lick. So you have the opportunity to come back, right? To take a break. Let's take a break. Take a break. Shut up. Right? Publicists, your manager, they used to regulate you. Like, just shut up. Just shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Everyone needs a manager, Everyone needs a manager, man. Don't ever think you too cool to not get advice from your peers, from your mans. Like who's still in your circle after all this time, man? It's sad, right? It's sad to see people you admire and whose art you value, who have inspired you, just end up being corny, right? Like you could be a lot of things in society, man. You could be a murderer. You could be a domestic abuser. You could be a thief. And we'll find a way to forgive you in enough time. But corny is forever, man. You corny, Mr. West. You corny, yo. And I talk about Donda 2, man, being, this a masterpiece. Donda and Donda 2. It's being masterpieces. Yo, gospel rap album, man. Mostly Donda being a gospel rap album. And you think about the elevation of music, and over the years how Kanye, Mr. West, has always elevated the genre. And he ended with gospel rap. I didn't listen to Vultures too. I didn't care. It's oversaturation. But at the height, right, he ended with a gospel album. And there was no humility in his journey. He didn't reach a point of humility of love. He reached the point of arrogance and ego. And I get it, yo. His mom's was that person, right? You lose for him, his best friend. He knew he could always, right? He'll speak ill on everyone in the world. Yo, he could never speak ill of his mom's, right? Because that's the only person who truly valued him, who saw him for who he was, who believed in him. And he lost her. It broke his heart. It broke his identity. We seen men broke about less, man. Your mom's passed away. You ain't even have, yo. I'm thinking about only one. Hello, Nori. How you doing? There was a level of pain in his heart, but he found God and he found ego. And I think eventually, this isn't to praise him. I think he'll become a cult leader, man. That's the only way to empower that ego. When the masses don't want to listen to you, when you think you're too smart, they don't get me. I'm a misunderstood artist. Nah, you're just corny, nigga. You're just corny. You're corny. And corny people do corny things, so he'll find people he can leech off their energy to feed his ego. And in 10 years, 15 years, right, it'll be Kanye West behind bars. But just the way he's shouting to free Diddy, ain't no one gonna say free Mr. West, because he's corny. Nothing Moves Without Us, a Black culture podcast, is brought to you by the Black Excellence Shop. Download the Black Excellence Daily app for Android or iOS. BlackExcellenceDaily.com. Long live the Black experience. Halftime show was dope. K-Dot did his thing, man. I love the visuals. I love the set. I love the streetlight set. It was minimalism. And people do all these different sets with rising platforms to elevate who they are. All he had was just a path, a street to walk on, man. Like, raw, real connect. I'm still in these streets, yo. I'm still in these streets. Visually. Set design. Choreography. Perfection. Even though I don't need K.I. to dance. He's in sync with the real people doing the work. It's not bullshit, right? Like he's doing it at the height of who he is as an artist. He's not gonna come out dancing and flailing. That's never who he's been. But you provide this new stage, this new space for an artist, especially at that age, and you allow them to elevate and think more out the box for their future work. It's also an investment in the greats to show them that, you still have potential. The people still love you. Just find new ways to invent yourself. And the Super Bowl halftime show is an opportunity. It's not a graveyard. It's not about the old and decrepit people from yesteryear. We don't care about you, right? We don't care about you. I'm trying to hear album of the year, song of the year. Only disdain, not disdain. My only complaint, not even a complaint. Only thing, I wanted more classics. That's it. That's the best way to say it. I wanted more classics, yo. I Love Myself. I wanted King Kunta. I wanted All Right. Let me pull up K-Dot, man. Let me pull up K-Dot. Right? He could have did Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. That would have been like a dope intersection and leading into Not Like Us. He could have done Poetic Justice since Drake is on the feature, and that'd have been a nice job getting that Drake. I wanted to hear Wesley's theory, every nigga is a star. Like, that would have been real to come out to. I would have loved to hear Mortal Man. DNA. Element. Sound Hill. That's for my selfish. But you niggas with me like hood. He performed mostly GNX, and he did Humble once. For me, I talked about GNX is a dope album, but to me it's not right for the times. After Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, after pushing the boundary as an artist and releasing this level of vulnerability and who you are, who your family are, your experiences, you go back into Cali gangster rap, which is important for the soul, right? Because there's that gap where you allow yourself to be vulnerable to people, and it comes out however it is. It's accepted however it is. But you can't allow yourself to stay in that state of mind, and sometimes going to the extreme and creating art to the extreme helps pull you back from the abyss of what that project might have taken you from, away from the lows of that perspective and energy, and what that final product and project means to you. So I get it, man. I get it. But I think to present GNX in its mostly its entirety, right? I think the Black experience deserves better than that. The halftime show very much felt about his ego, and it felt childish, right? It felt childish. Like he's doing it in response to Drake. He's not doing it off of strength of the sincerity and purity in his heart. You niggas pushing P, I'm pushing P. I'm pushing P, you pushing PTSD. Man. You pushing P, I'm pushing P. I'm pushing P, you pushing PTSD. That would hurt my ego, right? That would hurt my ego. So I get it, man. You have to come back. You have to be hard. Forget all the classics. Forget classic. Forget old Kendrick. It's new Kendrick. I think the Black experiences are better. Duality is always understanding the individual in the situation, right? He has a right to express himself as an artist. And maybe that's what the Black experience needed. Last year I focused on, RIP to the Black experience. And not like us has brought new life into the experience, but also has created a divide because no one's really saying who they and us really is. We squabble about it. You are Black Canadian. You Haitian. You are Tether, right? You FBA, you ADOS. It's good to have these little squabbles within our own rights, but who does it benefit? How does it benefit the Black experience? Last episode I said, I don't think there'll ever be another instant where Black people from the diaspora comes together for a single cause, focused on the Black experience. You gotta do for self. You don't owe the people anything. But that energy, the energy that it was about countering someone else versus just creating a monumental moment for the people who've supported you and loved you all these years. I try to watch a Kendrick concert on Prime Video. I just wasn't feeling it. His stage, most rappers don't have good stage presence. Everything is just being hard and it's just very still. It's stiff. So seeing that performance, he had more room to be free to work with a larger crowd. He had a larger budget to work with. Right? You can't afford to do that show every night. So it's dope to have that comparison and seeing him on concert and then seeing him on the stage where, in concert, you give us the hits. Why not give us the hits? But, hey, as a fan, right, we deserve the hits. So I'm disappointed in what the focus of that halftime show was. Too much ego is dangerous, man. and for what Kendrick Lamar means for the Black experience, to rap culture, the dissipated, lingering, ethereal energy of hip-hop culture. You had an opportunity to create an experience that was bigger than you and what you're going through. Because you think about it from an artist's perspective, you never know what's going to be a hit. You never know what people are really going to gravitate toward. Like in his mind, I don't think you can see the success and the outcome of a track like that. They Not Like Us. But you created, and it's a banger, but that doesn't define who you are as an artist, and it shouldn't define what the culture, the experience, the Black experience represents at that point in time. The song is about divide, right? The song is about drawing lines in the sand. You think about who's really in the stands at Super Bowl. Black culture is center stage, but Black culture isn't really represented in those stands. Used to work for the NBA store, went to 2 All-Star games. I went to New Orleans, post-Katrina, I think that was 2000, and 2007 was in Vegas, and 2008 was in New Orleans. And you walk the arena, you walk the venue, man, you walk the strip. And on the outside world, right, in the streets, in the streets there's diversity. But when you get into the stage, into the arena, it doesn't really reflect that, right? The whole city gets 5% of tickets? The host team sets aside 10% of its allotment for fans. The participating teams receive 17.5% of tickets and are encouraged to give 10% to their fans. Other 29 teams receive 1.2% of the tickets and are encouraged to give 10% allotment to fans. The NFL receives 25.2% of the tickets. Those venues aren't for fans, right? The fans are watching from home, right? You broke numbers, right? 133 the most watched Super Bowl performance of all time. 133.5 million viewers. I'm reading this from Billboard. The fans are at home, man. Us is at home, bro. Us is at home. It's just you. It's just you there, bro. It's just you. I stand up like during the halftime show, right? Like if you're watching a performance at home and it's like really inspiring, you stand up. You give your body that ability, that flexibility to maybe move or feel inspired by the rhythm versus sitting down. So I stood up and watched the entire performance, man. I ain't dance, I ain't jive, I ain't move as much, but there's an innate feeling and connectivity that you feel, right? Like that innate inspiration is seeing Blackness represented, seeing the significance, and feeling connected to the experience, feeling proud, feeling excited, feeling joy. And in a moment, right, 15 minutes of fame I talk about, in a moment, it's beautiful and, you're distracted by the lights and the singing, the choreography, the drama and all of that. Then you have to allow the moment to settle. And it's beneficial if you reflect on it. Okay, what did I just watch? What did it really signify for me, for the experience, for artistry? How does it push the generation forward? How does it push the culture forward? Every year I watch the Grammy. These past few years I've been watching the Grammys and watching the Academy Awards. I need to be aware of what the dominant society believes is the peak of artistry. It helps define where we are moving as a society. Right? Avengers Endgame ain't never gonna win best picture. It's fantasy. It's cool, but it's fantasy. It's childish. It doesn't truly inspire the next generation, except to create more artists and people who want to create fantasy worlds to escape into. Movies like Oppenheimer, right? Killers of the Flower Moon, Erica and I watched over the weekend. Like those stories, those narratives about the choices of the past, how our relationships define us, how we recover from faults, how we learn to forgive, how we learn to find hate, find love, ultimately how we learn to define ourselves so that we can have impact, social impact. In these past 2-3 years, when I watch streaming services that have commercials, my mind picks up on all of the rap music being used to promote products. The power of influence, right? I never used Tide before, but Ludacris got a hook on it. So yeah, Ludacris use it, I'm gonna use it too. No, very few people are above the schemes of marketing. You talk about 85%, right? The cliche, the deaf, dumb, and the blind. Majority rules. That 85%, they see that commercial, they hear the song, they make a connection. They're on the grocery store checkout line, they see the snacks to the right, and hey, I'm hungry, why wait? Why wait? Don't wait. Yo, get the Snickers, bro. Get the Snickers. Shit good. I've been listening to the Star Report, and a lot of callers have been calling in, saying it was whack, saying Kendrick's halftime show was whack, and it was mid and all of that. I disagree. I think I mentioned earlier the performance was dope. Because for me, the minimalism that I appreciate and value, right? I don't need the glitz and the glamour and the distraction. Focus on me. I'm the artist. I'm repping the Black experience. I'm repping the streets. I said, yo, that street design set, man. There's a need to pay homage where homage is due, and to acknowledge art for what it is, not what we hoping it could be or should be. It isn't about us as fans. It should be. I think performances should be about the fans. And I end by saying, at the height of his career, at this point in time, being in the limelight, if an artist decides to focus on tension and drama over growth, love, homage, and the people, the community that allowed him, that brought him, not even allowed, that supported him through this journey, man, I think it's a missed opportunity. And I think the Black experience deserves better. To tie into Kendrick's performance is the concept, the understanding, the views and the beliefs of what hip hop started as, and it being defined by counterculture measures. NWA, Public Enemy, before we got into the 90s era of braggadocio and jewelry and ego, hip hop was focused on the collective experience and defining that experience, defining the oppression that was placed on the Black experience, that has been placed, that is forever placed in some capacity. Beyonce won Country Album of the Year. She won Album of the Year finally. And I talk about those initial reactions. That initial feeling is like something doesn't feel right. Cowboy culture started with the Black experience. So my initial discomfort is focused on, she had to create music that is catered to a predominant white genre to finally gain notoriety. I've never listened to Cowboy Carter. I don't know what it represents as a country music album. But the initial feeling, right, is just like that. Like that's what it takes to get Album of the Year. Okay, that wins Song of the Year, Rap Song of the Year, all of that. And thinking about last year at the Grammys when Jay-Z won the Dr. Dre Lifetime Achievement Award, and it's talked about, hey man, y'all gotta get it right. All these years, right? Beyonce doesn't get Album of the Year, y'all gotta get it right. Advocating for his wife, and I believe in an episode last year, post watching the Grammys, it's like, at what point do you build something for your partner, for your wife, so that she can get the notoriety and respect that she deserves? At what point do you stop pleading with the dominant society and say, you know what, they're never going to acknowledge us the way we need to be acknowledged, so let's build something. You know, there's a ever-going, ever-present, unfortunate realization in the Black experience where once you reach a certain level and certain height, you no longer conduct business with other Black people. And these past, maybe like 5 years ago, right? Before Me Too, before cancel culture, I think, why don't Jay-Z and Diddy and Ye and Pharrell and all these people come together, right? Create a conglomerate, right? Create something that'll stand the test of time, that truly defines the past, present, and future of the Black experience. But then all of those social experiences come to light, and I talked about Ye earlier. He's corny. Diddy, Predator. Maybe the Black people within the Black experience don't create identities that allow other Black people to work at that level. The hopelessness in me is wanting more. I had projects in mind, and I'm thinking 5-10 years down the line, and maybe that's part of the problem, right? I'm thinking so far in the future, like I'm gonna create these steps, and in like 5 years, I'm gonna meet Jay-Z, and somehow I'm like, yo, bro, I got this plan for this blank. 5 years is too late. Maybe that's part of the Black experience. There's no time to plan, because tomorrow ain't promised. And not even in terms of your life, but the Black experience of today isn't going to be the Black experience of tomorrow. Because the people you respect, the idols, people you're a fan of, the people that you pay dollars to see, man, it's not even that they let you down. They don't grow up. And it's easy and lazy from my end and perspective to always have these ideas. Like, I bought the stem player, bought Kanye's stem player. And, bought it. I messed around with it, did it for a little bit, listened to Donna 2 endlessly. And my mom, okay, like what more can this or should this be? You see Ghostface Killer coming out with one. You see all these other artists coming out with stem players. And it's like, okay, what more can this be? In my mind, I'm like, yo, if I ever got to link with I'd be like, yo, bro, you should drop podcast on that. Because the stem player, you have to go to a specific website and download the songs from the website onto the player. Right? So why not, people paid money for this. So why not as an artist, right? Like really offer more to the people who are your fans and who supported you, right? It's like, it's just a money grab. You got the money from us, you created this product, cool, but like what other value are you providing? So why not, like once a week, man, drop a podcast where you're talking about something worthwhile, you're teaching people, you're educating people. But you see who people are. You see people don't want to grow up. You see that people are corny and it's right. So lost investment, wasting my time. Earlier today, I watched an episode of, I think I saw this on X yesterday. It was a clip of one of the writers from the Boondocks, Carl Jones. And he's on a podcast, Effective Immediately. And it's talking about, and the initial joke was him talking about the Usher episode and how that happened to him in real life. I watched that clip, I got a laugh from it. Then I just watched the whole podcast episode of Carl Jones on Effective Immediately. And then just talking about, again, the writer's process, working with Aaron Magruder, having a team. And how easy it is to have a team when you're on the grind, when you're hungry, where you're trying to make something for yourself. Like on the grassroots level, the organic growth aspect, it's easy, man. It's easy to be 100 blades of grass in a 5x5 space. We don't need much. I just need a little bit of sustenance to thrive and survive. But for both apple trees, man, we're fighting for resources. We're fighting for every little drop of water so that we can bear the greatest amount of fruit to provide for nature, for the people who live around us, the animals that come up to us. Maybe it's not in our nature to reach a certain height that allows a certain level of success, a certain level of notoriety, and extend an olive branch to collaborate and create something that lasts to the end of time. Prior to watching the Super Bowl, I was watching the Star Report, and people were talking about Michael Jackson's performance at the Super Bowl, the greatest performance of all time. I thought, you know what? I've never listened to any of Michael Jackson's albums like entirety. I know the songs from pop culture, from seeing videos as a kid, but never listened to an album in entirety. So I created a playlist of all his solo projects. And I've just been going through his music, man. Sometimes, I just be sad for the Black experience. Like thinking about the loss of losing someone like Michael Jackson. I wasn't a fan of Prince, but I understood what Prince meant to the Black experience and to music. Losing Prince at a young age. I constantly think about Kobe Bryant. It's been 5 years since we lost Kobe Bryant. I bought this magazine at the grocery store that just kind of highlighted his life and journey, and it's just sad, man. Shit is just sad. Right? The Black experience just feels sad sometimes, yo. Life just feels sad, right? Sometimes you're just trying to do good. You're trying to do right by people, by the world. You're trying to move forward. You're not trying. You are. You are doing right by people. You are inspiring. You are creating art. And you are focused on the bigger picture, and not even your legacy, but the influence and power you have to change in changing people's perspectives, giving them hope. And then it's just sad. It's just darkness and sad as fuck, yo. But for us on the other side, what do you do with that emotion? What do you do with that feeling? I'm working on music, and my biggest challenge in life is emotion. I'm a stoic. Can't let them see me sweat. And I found some good pockets this past month. I've had a breakthrough in terms of music, mostly through listening, through new phonics and new sounds that have allowed me to find a new unique range with my vocals. And listening to Michael Jackson, it's like, damn, you hear the fucking pain in his voice. You hear it, you feel it, man. What do you do with that feeling? What do you do with that pain? He recorded his pain behind the mic. And if my goal is to share stories, if your goal is to share stories, your goal is to inspire, to create art, it may not last a lifetime, but it will and should spark just the right amount of energy to inspire someone to do something great and amazing with their life, man. But that's your goal. That's your focus. Remember that every feeling, every reaction, every gut sensation is meant to inspire you and motivate you to create change and new dynamics in your life that allow you to express, allow you to thrive, allow you to heal. On the surface, it's all bullshit, right? A lot of times I just feel like I'm just saying surface bullshit, right? But sometimes, you just need a reminder. You need a reminder that it's not as simple as it seems. It's not as basic as it seems. There's more. There's nothing in this world that you cannot have if you truly work for it, man. So if you want healing, if you want growth, you want love, you want prosperity in your life and in the Black experience, there is no reason there is unlimited access, there is unlimited capital available to you, to your community, to get the job done. When do you start? You may never finish the job, right? The job never gets done, right? The experience, what the black experience needs today is not what it will need tomorrow. But the foundation is that it will always need love. It will always need community. It will always need healing. It will always need fresh and new ideas that tell stories that inspire people to keep pushing through and to persevere no matter what is being thrown in front of them. Sometimes, you got to get rid of the noise. Get rid of the noise. Get rid of it. Right? Just look at it. Right? When you're home throughout this week, man, you're just looking at shit like, get rid of it. I don't need that, man. I don't need that. I don't need this. None of it adds value to my life. Add value, and create value. Consume value. Repurpose value. Have a good week. Peace.